in the divine jewel of southern New England, the miniature yet mystical metropolis of Providence, where a bevy of haunted rivers, swamps, creeks, and riddle springs pour forth their collective potencies into the gaping maw of Narragansett Bay, at least, usually. With the severe drought currently upon us, it's less of a pouring and more of a gurgling plop these days. As a humble representative of the Church of Shub-Niggurath, the Black Coat of the Thousand Young, mother of abominations, and savior to all who seek her dread caress, it is my great honor and responsibility that I'm able to represent my goddess and her many fanes, groves, grottos, and covensteads here before you all today. Last convocation, I waxed philosophically about the sheer number of new initiates we were receiving, prompted by the ubiquity of occult content spread throughout popular culture. These days, though, the applicants are still in record numbers, the graduation percentage has been, well, less than desirable. Frankly, quantity is solid, but quality is lacking. As a modest priest of a cosmic goddess in growth and decay, it appears that it has become my solemn duty to instruct a plethora of new, wet behind the ears initiates. Again. Because I lost a stupid card game. Again. To amigo named Flarglesnard. Again! But this time I know he was palming that ace of pentacles. And once Brenda at the vestry finally gets me the security footage I requested weeks ago, I'll be able to prove it. You see, initiates of the occult mysteries are fiddly to deal with at the best of times. Even the promising ones have a learning curve that can get pretty steep when the eldritch nasties inevitably come into play. But between herbal pandemic enema cures slung snake oil style willy-nilly across the interwebs and this TikTok humans have cursed themselves with, which has absolutely nothing to do with clocks, I'll have you know. I'm amazed any of the newbie witches that drag themselves to the Covenstead survive long enough to evoke even a lesser fire imp at this point. I mean, there's always the classic line, usually delivered from a mossy portion of the forest floor looking upwards. But it was all natural. So is hemlock. But of course, it gets far worse than that. Because apparently, hexing the moon, yes, you heard that right, trying to curse the moon, my eldritch friends, apparently sounds all well and good to a moronic neophyte hyped on YouTube mugwort taint cleanses, but then suddenly it's please, Teth, don't let the enraged moonbeast sell me to the slave markets of Deathleen. Please deliver me from amateurs. And now that I mention it, I think that moonbeast still at least $50. Don't flip me. My travels among the various astral, subterranean, and dimensional locales occasionally drop me back here in Midgard, where it seems things have gotten so annoyingly problematic for my fellow domesticated Tellurian primates that 80s nostalgia has returned like a fresh wave of chickenpox. Mavericks once again exhale their jet trails into the jingoistic sky. The bloated wealth of the rich will assuredly trickle down any day now. Kate Bush and Metallica have returned to the airwaves, and demonic forces are once again to be quelled by intrepid teams of awkward kids on bicycles. With the sacrificial metalhead thrown in there for good measure. Don't worry though, Vecna was kind enough to save Eddie Munson from watching most of his favorite bands slow motion kiss the corporate tentacle once the 90s were. As for a young metalhead raised on the golden era of 80s thrash, the horror of being nibbled down to bones by a swarm of slathering demobats pales in comparison to being forced to listen to Reload in its entirety. Not to mention, bonus return of the Satanic Panic. I thought we'd squeeze just about all the nostalgic idiocy out of the culture wars we could for a while, but boy was I fucking wrong. Side note, if evangelicals think D&D is demonic, they should try learning all the rules necessary to run a competent GURPS campaign. Demobat death nibbles might seem once again a better option. But I digress, my friends, I digress. I get too excited when I'm surrounded by you all, like a hungry young shoggoth encountering their first Antarctic expedition. For when I'm here, once again surrounded by you, my illustrious peers, hailing from every nook and nebulae of the horrifically massive multiverse, I feel immense pride and inspiration. For where else can one find the countless expressions of cosmic mystery, joining rudimentary appendage to rudimentary appendage in resplendent culturnity? For where else do legions of star spawns, Indolosians, deep ones, blood nuns, elder things, biakis, gugs, ghasts, gaunts, golems, migos, chochos, and so many others come to revel and rejoice in their collective monstrosities and the gloriously varied dances they engender? For when I'm surrounded by our myriad and polymorphous geometries here at this sumptuous feast of convocation, I can do naught but give thanks to my goddess and her thousand young. Naught but give thanks. For my first address to this congregation, I asked you to banish the pernicious little bogey that was purity from your collective consciousnesses, to revel in our magnificently mongrelized natures, and banish them you did. For my second address, I asked you to banish simplicity, so that the multiplicity of the cosmos could explode frantically into trillions of multidimensional translucent tesseracts. Or was that just me going heavy on Wolfspeed again? No matter. For this, my third address, I ask you to banish nothing, unless it pisses you off. For it is true, if you place a priest in the pulpit, preach he shall. But this oddball warlock is feeling a bit more Dionysian than Calvinist at the moment. Kells agrees. And it is giving thanks that I wish to focus upon this morning. For when I gaze out upon this magnificent assembly of friends, I note the faces, pseudopods, eye stalks, and carapaces that I have danced and dined with in the past. And I give many thanks that I'm able to see them and celebrate them again. As I gaze out, I also note the faces, pseudopods, eye stalks, and carapaces of new friends, no less important now. And again, I give thanks for our celebrations. And as I gaze out, I also note the specters and shades of our many precious friends, now off to more pressing cosmic matters, gone but never forgotten. And I give thanks for their memories, madness, and blessings of sacred chaos. Thus we pray. Praise be to thee, Yog-Sothoth, Azathoth, Nyarlathotep, Aboth, the mightiest of gates shattered at thy wing. Praise be to thee, Yig, Shub-Nigarat, Toshka, Ubosatla, the jewels of the stars are thine to command. Praise be to thee, Hasta, Cthulhu, Dagon, Shognar Falcon, untold generations have knelt to thy might. Praise be to thee, Igolanak, Katuga, Shudemel, Sathagua, for thy kingdom shall indeed return.